recognized.
I represent everything Dollar Club.
Respect the dollar!
Oh, headbutt to the Jolly Rogers there.
Hey, everybody, what is up? Welcome to the Dollar Club Wrestling Podcast, episode 25. I'm your host, Jim Prendy. And as always, the patriotic one, Mr. Uncle Slam is with me. What is up?
What's up? What's up?
Uncle Slam, we have an awesome episode tonight for the people. We have two very special guests. We had the pleasure of interviewing Mr. Leo Sparrow on Monday night, the son of Sun, the king of Kale. It was a very interesting interview, and we're going to play that for you later. But right now, we have a very special guest with us, and Cabana Man Dan is with us. What is up, man? How are you?
I'm doing good, Jim. Nice to meet you and Uncle Slam. Wow, it's all caps on Uncle Slam, so you got to take him seriously.
That's right. Yeah. Gotta scream it.
He's very patriotic.
He's gonna have the Captain America shield as a chair right here too.
So Dan, you're going to be at the legendary Hamburg Fieldhouse.
What's that?
Yeah, on January 7th. On January 7th, we'll be at the AXW, American Excellence Wrestling, at the legendary Hamburg Fieldhouse in Hamburg, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and we will be there with you, man. We're really looking forward to it. Have you been in Pennsylvania before?
You're from the down south, from the Alabama area here. Have you been up to Pennsylvania before?
Yeah, I have. I've wrestled for a few places here and there in Pennsylvania. It's been a few years now, but I could be seen at places like Chikara Pro, Excellence Professional Wrestling, and Pizza Party Wrestling. But I'm very excited to be back after several years with AXW in Pennsylvania. Awesome.
So Dan, for all the AXW fans and people that love the Hamburg Fieldhouse, tell us about Cabana Man Dan. Tell us who you are, what you're about.
Well, folks that were familiar with the Hamburg Fieldhouse, they're familiar with legendary wrestlers such as Superfly Jimmy Snuka. If you can imagine Jimmy Snuka, but a much smaller frame, quicker, just as tough, you've got Cabana Man Dan. I don't give up. I got the people behind me, and I like to use high-flying moves, technical wrestling, and some lucha libre peppered in there for fun. I like to wrestle with kind of a gritty attitude when it has to be. I like to have fun. Who doesn't like fun? And I just like hanging out on the beach and being on a deserted island and just trying to survive in the independent wrestling scene.
Your arm drags are pretty smooth too. They actually remind me a lot of Ricky the Dragon Steamboats. How smooth they are.
I really appreciate that. I study a lot of Ricky Steamboat. In my younger years, I definitely got a lot of comparisons with the arm drags and the cross bodies and the fighting attitude that Ricky had. Pure good guy, never turned his back on the fans, doesn't cheat, just plays it by the book, and just lets the best man win out there.
Now, Dan, you've been around for quite a while, right? Like 14, 15 years?
I lose count after all the miles and the concussions, but I did start out in 2001, and I was active until 2010. Took 6 years off, and then came back in 2016 to current time. And I think I wrestled more in these last 6 years than I did in the first 10. So I've been very, very excited and very pleased to have like a second run in wrestling, and it ended up being a lot more fruitful than the first time around.
Nice. Now we mentioned Ricky the Dragon and Jimmy Snuka. Was there any other inspirations? What inspires you to become Cabana Man Dan?
Uh, it's gonna be funny, but I'm a really, really, really huge fan of Shark Boy.
Nice.
And when I was in high school, they had the MTV True Life. I'm an independent wrestler, and Shark Boy was featured on that, and that was a big inspiration. He got Shark Boy and Cabana Man, so that was always like a character I really enjoyed, and I think he could have done a lot more with. But he was one of the inspirations. And then when I was starting out, the first independent wrestling show I saw was actually in New Jersey. Um, and one of the matches on that event that inspired me to cross over from being a fan to wanting to pursue professional wrestling was the Amazing Red versus Mike Quackenbush. And, once I saw those two guys tear it up, and they're not big guys, but they're out there doing like the coolest moves, stuff I've never seen before. I was like, I I can try to do that. Uh, not as good as either one of those, but I have my niche I can do.
Can you pinpoint the moment you fell in love with wrestling? Was it like a specific show, a specific match, or just birthed into it? Your family was watching it, or
Well, when I was about 5 years old, this was 1990. I spent this summer with my grandmother, and she would take me to the mom and pop local video rental store, and you'd walk around, you'd see the wrestling section, and I didn't know what that was, but I knew these gigantic clamshell boxes with Coliseum home videos, of WWF, Royal Rumble, and WrestleManias. I was like, whatever this is, all these cool looking dudes on here, I want to watch this. And that's where I spent a lot of time, was watching old Royal Rumbles and WrestleManias, whatever I could get my hands on at the video store back then, because I was too young to know how cable worked
yeah?
and what time things came on.
Are you are you still a fan of the product? You watch like Raw and SmackDown and Dynamite, Rampage?
Well, when I'm on my remote island, I don't have access to cable, but the Wi-Fi and satellite phone signal is good enough to where I can get Hulu on my device, so I keep up with
Oh, okay.
Raw and SmackDown every week. But if AEW had a way to stream, I would watch it. But I just get all my AEW from what people post online.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I have a very important question for you. Are you wearing
Oh.
shoes right now?
Am I wearing shoes right now? I currently am wearing shoes just because I'm outside of an amphitheater, and it's going to be kind of cold. In the wintertime, I tend to bundle up a little bit more, and I'm not a huge fan of the cold. So, I'll be in the Northeast in January next month, and that's kind of a rarity because I fly south for the winter as well, just like the birds.
Did you always wrestle without shoes, or is it something you tried once and liked it, or?
Well, I started out with these crazy big blue patent leather boots with a lift on it, and I wore those for like the first 2 or 3 years in wrestling, and they're very clunky. They didn't fit, but everybody back then was like, you got to have boots. And so I was tying up the boots in the back, and when I went to cinch the laces snapped. I was like, well, crap. what am I going to do? And the promoter's like, you're an Islander, just wrestle barefoot tonight. I was like, okay. And that just blew my mind. So I wrestled that one time barefoot, and I was like, I felt like I was wrestling like on a cloud, because I had better footwork. I could run a lot better. I had better traction and just more foot control. And I just never really wore them again.
Well, did any of your opponents ever work the foot, stomp on your foot, use it to their
Well,
advantage?
Effie has stuck my feet in his mouth before. If you're familiar with Effie, he has done that. You'll have somebody take a shortcut by stomping the foot or trying to, snap the toes, kind of like whenever you snap someone's fingers. But only a broken toenail one time, and then maybe like a sprained ankle, and I feel like that's incredibly lucky after so many years.
Yeah, wow, that is.
How does one become a Cabana Man? What if me and Jim wanted to become one? Is there a initiation process, or you just gotta be one? It's gotta be natural. You gotta be born and the islands.
Well, I mean, I don't know. You see a lot of it. You got, like you see on WWE, you gotta feel a little oozy. And even though I'm
Ah,
not that bloodline, I'm of the Filipino background. It is definitely a way of life, whether it's being laid back or knowing when you have to fight or flight, and surviving out there. You gotta work on your tan first. That's the big part. To be
yeah,
the
true.
man, you must be tan.
Now, I know Uncle Slam is jealous of something that we saw recently. You want to tell him, Uncle Slam, why you're
Yeah,
jealous?
you're gonna be in the Wrestling Code video game. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, no,
Excited
that
about that?
that is awesome. Yeah, that's a long work in progress. They just recently released, I guess the alpha version of the Cabana Man Dan, which they had to change some because I changed my look on them, and they were really like, "Why'd you change your whole look?" I was like, "I had to," but no, it's gonna be awesome. The roster keeps growing. The stuff that they put out so far looks fantastic. I mean, it's about time that there was like another game besides like a WWE 2K game. So it's been a real pleasure being part of that and meeting some really cool people. And uh, I got to go back, I think, in January and February and finish up my motion capture work. Doing my strikes and all that kind of stuff, taking moves and all that. It was cool.
Yeah, I love how you call your variation of the sliced bread the surfs up. It looks more like you're riding a surfboard than anything to do with sliced bread. I love your name for it.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, it works out. It works out well. It fit with it fits either way because it's either the surfs up or it's called shipwrecked. Whenever the castaway comes out, the castaway side of me comes out. This shipwrecked, but both of it all works. It's such a fun move. Stole it from a video game. So it was cool back in the day. It still is cool, but I never practiced it, and I just hit it in a match.
Nice, nice.
We have a question from Sean Liam Riley. I guess he's asking, what if you are genetic averse to the sun?
Oh well, I mean, it's an uphill battle for sure. You might have to get a spray tan or the lotions at the store that over time gradually sun you up. That would be what I would say to that.
Oh, there you go,
Or
Sean.
tanning bed.
Thanks for the
Tanning bed.
question. Yeah.
I like how you do all different styles. You're very technical sound too, and I saw some of your hardcore matches online. You're definitely a good tag team wrestler as well. Do you have like a preference, like what you like doing the most, or is it just fun to switch things up every now and then?
I mean, it's just fun to switch things up. Just being in wrestling so long, you have to develop a range of styles because you don't know where you are in the on the card. You don't know who you're facing sometimes, and especially it shows that you're a regular. You can't go out there and have the same match. It just doesn't work like that. I mean, everybody that you wrestle is going to be different, but I mean, I don't know. Tag team wrestling is probably the most fun because tag team wrestling is awesome because there's such a broad story that can take place in a ring. You have your classic like Rock and Roll Express where Ricky Morton's getting beat up the whole time. He's just trying to get to the corner and make the hot tag. I mean, there's just a lot you can do with a tag match because it's double the people of a singles match. So I like those. But shoot, hardcore's fun. I don't do a lot of that. You really have to upset me heavily to get that hardcore side of me. But whenever you do, it doesn't wind up good for you.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear.
Now, Dan, we saw you've wrestled a lot of, you've had a lot of big matches. You wrestled Samoa Joe, a bunch of other people. Who would you say your favorite opponent or has been, or you enjoyed wrestling the most?
Somebody you gelled with. I know it's a lot of A lot of people don't want to say who the favorite is because then you got to rank people. Just somebody like gel really, you know?
Well, I mean, there's so many different categories. If you want to say like the most surreal match that always sticks out, it's not so much my favorite, but it's like one that I like to like be backstage and or when people ask me about it, I love to tell the stories of where I had wrestled Hornswoggle and Scott Steiner in a triple threat match at midnight WrestleMania weekend.
No way,
So,
really?
yeah, that was wild, and I didn't even know I was uh, needed to be on that show until 9 p.m. Whenever I get a message from somebody at Absolute Intense Wrestling that I need to show up at the venue because I'm needed for this match. So that was wild. I wouldn't say I gel with Scott Steiner because I'm scared of him really
Big
bad.
Papa
But
Pump.
he threw me around like it wasn't very much to it. But as far as like people I like working with, I like working big dudes. I like working small dudes. Intergender matches are always fun too. So it's like just in like these random categories, I've got a few people per one that I just really like gelling with. Like if it's another cruiserweight, I really liked working with Vinny Pacifico. I know he's out of the New York area, but he's everywhere in the Indies. Another one I liked was Alec Price, which he's blowing up in the Northeast and everywhere. As far as like big dudes, I've wrestled, tons of big dudes. Those are always fun. Derek Neal, he's another one coming up for AXW on January 7th. He's my all-time favorite opponent to wrestle against because he brings out the fight. The King's Road Slayer definitely has that old school King's Road Japanese style mixed with some Tracy Smothers Southern style, and he just brings we're just perfect. We're perfect opponents for each other. He's got the size, I got the speed and quickness, and both of us just like beating the crap out of each other. So that would say Derek Neal's probably my favorite opponent.
Nice. Now, Dan, I know that nobody knows yet who your opponent is on January 7th.
You got some
It's
scoops?
It's a big mystery, and I
Okay.
think we're going to let the cat out of the bag here as an exclusive, an AXW exclusive, right here on the Dollar Club Wrestling Podcast.
All
January
right.
7th at the legendary Hamburg Fieldhouse at AXW Presents for the People. Cabana Man Dan will be facing Tony Evans, the superior one. What do you think about
All
that?
right. That I think Tony has a boatload and a half of raw potential. He's one of those guys that are just like quietly grinding in the background, but you know that he's putting in the work. The dude is on point with his nutrition. I know he's working out hard. He's like over a sports thing at a college, so he definitely has an advantage as far as athletic ability. He's out of that Kentucky area, so he's not from the Pennsylvania area, but I've shared a locker room with him several times. I've never faced him before, but I've watched him wrestle a lot, and the fact that I'm wrestling him, he's got everything to gain by beating me, and I've got everything to lose facing him and not winning because
Wow.
he knows my track record. Um, he's looking to make a name for himself off of my name by beating me. And, you were talking about all the people I faced. Well, if he were to beat me, he absorbs some of my powers like that. He's kind of like Mega Man. It's like if he beats Cabana Man Dan, could he get, that's a big deal.
Yeah,
So
Dan.
he's
Well,
definitely showing up to impress, as am I. We're both new.
yeah. Well, he's going to be hungry. He's going to be hungry. What are you going to do to match that intensity, to match that will he's going to have to want to beat you? What can you do to prepare for that?
Well, I'll only tell you if he's not watching. Is he watching right now?
No, he's not watching.
Okay, he's probably drinking or something. But well, I definitely have the experience edge, which I usually do have the experience edge on people by 10 years or so. So I've got to wrestle smart. He's very strong and he's got athletic ability. So I can't go toe to toe with strength. I have to outsmart him. I have to outquick him, and I have to wait for him to make the mistake first.
Yeah.
Well, we're really looking forward to that, man. It's going to be a good one. But Dan, tell us, after you beat Tony Evans, say what if you beat him?
If
When you beat him,
there you go.
what are your goals in AXW? What would you like to accomplish with AXW?
Well, January 7th, I'm staking my claim to the territory in Hamburg, Pennsylvania. I'm not going for any championships yet, but a positive showing, especially a win over a competitor like Tony Evans, definitely cements me in some sort of roster. It's kind of like a rebuilding phase. I mean, they've got their champions fighting each other in the main event in the 2 out of 3 falls match. They have a history. I come in with a clean slate, so there's people that aren't going to have any expectations of what I'm going to do or what I'm capable of, and that plays to my advantage immensely. Every time I step into a ring, whether it's my debut or it's the same show I've wrestled for the past 10 years, I'm there to impress, and I'm there to wrestle as if it was my first time, and I have to make a good impression every time I step through that curtain, and January 7th is no different.
Awesome.
Is there any kind of matches you haven't done yet you'd be wanting to try out? Anything specifically, or have you done it all?
I have never done a cage match before. I've done TLC matches, ladder matches, hardcore. I've been in Fans Bring the Weapons matches. I've ran through Legos, thumbtacks, all that crazy stuff. But I've never done a cage match before. I think that'd be really fun.
Nice. And I know you said who some of your like inspirations were, but like, do you still study the game? Are you still like learning new moves or new like stuff from any of the older people or any current people? Or
I do. I watch whenever I'm doing cardio. I watch a lot of Brad Armstrong, and I watch a lot of that like 1980s, early 90s junior heavyweight style. I think that kind of stands out to where it's like you have that traditional professional wrestling style with that cruiserweight style, but it's not what some might consider the murder gymnastics like you might see on TV these days. Like, it's not a lot of wasted motion. It's not any like flipping just to flip or show off. It's people out there wrestling that just happen to be in a lighter weight class, but at no point there's like I'm watching a Brad Armstrong match. He's not doing anything that you can poke holes through. You don't see Ricky Steamboat or Rock and Roll Express or Midnight Express, anything like that. You don't see. They're always honed in on their craft, and that's just what I like to be after. Is just solid wrestler. You can't poke holes through it, and there's no shame in the game that I bring to the ring.
I love that you're from down the south. We usually get like northerners up here, northeastern people, so we get like a little different names, a little different like styles and stuff you're talking about too. Which we always hear like the Hardys and just like more like the flashy and flip guys. People talk about a lot of, unless they're the hardcore guys, the ECW crew. But I love that. And speaking of the South, I actually go to Alabama. I used to when I was a kid a lot. My uncle used to have a lake house in Neely Henry Lake. You ever been there?
Yeah, I
Cool.
sure have. I couldn't tell you what city that is, but I have stayed in a lake house on that lake before. Beautiful. Alabama's beautiful as crap.
I loved it. I haven't been there in about 15 years now. When I was a kid, we used to go all the time, but I absolutely loved it there. It was beautiful. I got to head back up there again sometime soon.
I mentioned the people I mentioned just because I'm a lot older than most people think.
Dan, I have one final question for you. Are you a
Okay.
professional wrestler or a sports entertainer?
I'm a professional wrestler who used to sports entertain.
Nice, good answer. All right, brother.
Because
yeah.
back in the day, which you might see this depending how this match goes, the most notable thing I had for a really, really long time in my repertoire was the flip-flop chop. And that's literally me giving knife edge chops with a flip-flop, and they sound like gunshots, and they feel like it too. So if Tony Evans wants to bend the rules, I can bend them right back.
I've seen a couple of matches against where guys will throw your flip flops into the crowd too. It's pretty funny.
And the crowd throws them
They're
back
scared.
to you.
Yeah. Crowd's team CMD, they throw them right back, help you out.
That's right.
Tony
That's right.
Tony
And it's the only
Evans.
shoes I have.
Tony
Thank
Evans,
goodness you
watch
didn't,
out for the flip-flops.
Thank goodness you've never went to the Crocs.
Okay, so another surreal match I've had before is I've had a lumberjack match, but the good guy lumberjacks had flip flops, and the rule breaker lumberjacks all had Crocs. So it was
Is that
a
on
very
YouTube? I gotta
perverse
find
match.
that. That's awesome.
This was a long time ago. This was like 2016. I don't know if it exists. It might just be a figment of our imagination now, but it has happened.
That's awesome. After you defeat Tony Evans on January the 7th, Uncle Slam would love to slam some milk with you after the match.
Oh, sweet! You got almond milk?
Yeah, that's all I do. I'm almond milk. I'm a healthy lifestyle myself too.
Hey, are you sure? We'll Kurt Angle them.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Cabana Man
Drive the
definitely
almond milk truck into the Hamburg Fieldhouse.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can do. I'll see what we can do.
Well, we'll look forward to that. Uncle Slam and Cabana Man slamming some almond milk. All right, Dan. Well, it's been a pleasure having you. We really appreciate you coming on, man, and we're really excited to be there on January 7th to watch you against Tony Evans and beat him and stake your claim.
Oh, and tell your socials. You have a pro wrestling tee story, anything you want to promote, like throw it on out there.
Oh man, I could promote all day long. ProWrestlingTees.com/Cabana Man Dan. I also have a shop on whatamaneuver.net. Follow me on Twitter at Cabana Man Dan. Instagram is cabana.man.dan. And then just Cabana Man Dan on Facebook, YouTube, Hive if that ever comes back. So I'm not a hard Dan to find.
Just look up the Cabana Man.
Hey, buy some merch, everybody out there. Buy some Cabana Man Dan merch.
Yeah,
Come on
show
out.
up with some CMD merch. If you don't have it, I've got it in stock at the merchandise table. I mean, this is going to be a really, really great experience. You never know what's going to happen. This feels like a really supercharged event. Like they've restructured, rebranded. They want to impress. So, everyone's out to steal the show on January 7th.
Yeah, Sean Liam Riley says, "Get it done."
Get her done.
Get her done. All right, brother. Thanks. Appreciate you joining us. And good luck on the 7th.
Anytime.
We'll see you there, man.
All right, brother.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Cool. You're welcome on the show anytime.
Our pleasure.
He was an awesome guy. That was awesome.
Yeah, really good. It's going to be a really exciting match. Can't wait to see it. So do you want to go right into Leo Sparrow, or did you want to talk
we can
about
show the
something
Leo
there?
Sparrow interview. Let me play. You love the theme song so much. Let me show the theme song to everybody out there too, so they can judge it for
really
themselves.
Sparrow. Yeah. You know I'm the son of the sun. I'm the man, I'm the vegan, I'm the one to become. I keep it clean with my eating. I am undefeated. Nobody stepping to me. You know the future's leading. It's the green machine. Doing me and everything that I do now with my life between. I've been focused on being greater ever since I was clean. Everything I ever did was truly here for the sea. I've been focused, yeah. I'm the king of the kale. Yes, I'm the king of the kale. You know I'm the king of the kale. I'm the one that always prevails. Yeah, I'm the king of the kale.
I can't play the whole thing. I don't know if we'll get for copyright. All right, so we're gonna this interview with Leo Sparrow was filmed on Monday, so me and Jim aren't going to be on the stream. This is pre-taped. You can still comment. We're still going to be here. If you want, we can post your comments online too, everybody. But enjoy the interview. Here we go.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the Dollar Club Wrestling Podcast. We are here with a special guest. He will be at For the People AXW on January 7th at the historic Hamburg Fieldhouse. The son of sons, the king of kale, Leo Sparrow. What's up, brother?
What's going on? That intro was good, but I think it sounds a lot better when I do it. So let me hit you with it. Here I am, the king of kale, the green machine, the son of the sun, and your earth champion, Leo Sparrow. Thank you very much for having me on the show today. Looking forward to talking about all things wrestling, all things Leo Sparrow, and January 7th at the Hamburg Fieldhouse for American Excellence Wrestling.
Yeah, that was better.
Much better. So, Leo, before we start,
Yes, sir.
you have any almond milk?
Oh, my goodness. I love it. I love it.
Leo, are you?
I am a healthy lifestyle.
Nice. I appreciate it.
Leo, are you really
Thanks for
like
being an
a-
ally?
Is
That's
that,
right.
Are you really a vegan?
Am I really a vegan? I get that question a lot. And yes, I am really a vegan. Yes.
How long have you been living?
I've
that
been vegan
lifestyle?
for about 2 years, I want to say. 2, maybe almost 3 years. But yeah, I love it and I wouldn't go back.
So I'm glad it's not just a gimmick; it's a lifestyle. That usually
It's a lifestyle. Listen, Ric Flair said to have the gimmick is to live the gimmick. So if I'm going to do it, I'm not going to half-ass it. I'm going all in.
Nice.
I love it.
I love your your food pun names. Like you got the broccoli buster,
The broccoli buster.
cattle liberation. You know, I love
Yes,
it too.
sir. Thank
Do you have
you.
any other ones coming up you'd like to debut or anything? Like
I got the fruit punch.
nice.
I got since I'm the son of the sun, instead of doing moon salts, I like to do sun salts instead.
That's awesome. Very cool.
And yeah, maybe I think that's it right now. If you guys come up with anything good, definitely let me know. Oh, the kneecapitation. Instead of the decapitation with my kneecap, it's the kneecapitation.
Nice. We're decaffeinated.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Your finisher, how'd you come up with that? I've never seen that before. It's pretty
The
original.
kneecapitation?
No, your finisher.
the
Is
cattle
that your finisher?
Oh, I
Or
go
the
back
cap-
and forth. Sometimes I use the cattle liberation. Sometimes I
that's
use.
the cattle
Most of the time, I
liberation.
like to try and hit the kneecapitation because since I'm not really a tall guy, so I like to get him down to my size and then drill him right in the side of the head with my knee. So that seems to finish off people pretty good.
Yeah. The cattle liberation, I thought looked. I've never seen that before. It's pretty original. How'd you come up with that?
I follow a lot of wrestling pages or a lot of wrestlers on like Instagram, Twitter, and through different clips of seeing what people put together and my own flavor, I come up with some weird stuff.
Who are some people that you studied? Are you a student of the game? Would you say?
Definitely. I try and watch at least one wrestling match every day. Recently, I've been watching a lot of edge heads recently. Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. I don't know why. Sometimes I get on weird kicks. I just like to watch them. Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, Rey Mysterio, Bret Hart, early Edge stuff. Some guys I've been watching recently.
Do you watch a lot of Edge because you were trained by Brian Myers? Is that like a little inspiration there?
I watch a lot of Brian Myers, but I do like to watch Edge as well.
Nice.
It's
Good person.
interesting seeing his wrestling style change over the years because when it was earlier in the beginning, I mean, when I say early, I'm talking like 2003 to 2005, whatever, based on him just going out doing ladder matches and stuff like that. I mean, I know it's not the Attitude Era anymore, but and then seeing like what it is recently, post comeback, how he's wrestling smarter, doing the greatest hits, taking his time. It's interesting to watch.
Yeah, I agree. I loved his Randy Orton matches, even though they were a tad too
Yes.
long. I loved it.
You have I see behind you there. You have an awesome collection there of action figures.
Thank you very much. These are people that I either like to watch or have met in person and felt that they were a nice person. I don't know. People I like, I get their action figure.
So have you been into wrestling like since you were a kid? Like you see it and just fall in love with it?
Yeah, Exactly. The first time I ever saw it, I was like instantly hooked. Got the video game, got the magazine, got the figures, got everything. And then I've never cared about anything else.
Do you remember the first match you saw?
First match I saw, I went to a live event at the Nassau Coliseum, and I don't remember what matches they were, but I remember the first match I saw on TV was The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania
It's
25.
First match to see.
And that's a great first match to see.
Yeah. Who was your first favorite, like when you were a kid?
My first guy was definitely Zack Ryder.
Nice. Woo, woo, woo.
Really?
Yeah, exactly. Being a Long Island guy, it just resonated with me. But growing up and watching wrestling more, I've always been a Dolph Ziggler guy. I like Dolph Ziggler a lot. I really love him and his wrestling, and I try and wrestle like him. John Morrison, those kind of, I would call them current workhorse guys. And then if you go back to like early 90s, late 80s, there's Brett, Shawn, Mr. Perfect, stuff like that.
Nice. We had the same taste. I'm a big Morrison guy. Perfect too. Very good.
Nice,
Very good
nice,
picks.
great.
Cody Rhodes.
I love Cody. We got Jim.
So are you, do you still watch like WWE, AEW, like Monday Night Raw? Are you weekly watcher of the show?
Yeah, when I can, definitely. I like to see the highlights and stuff on Facebook because I like to see what people think is popular and see what is popular about it, whether it be a big, exciting moment or if it's a move or something like that or a promo segment. I like to see what's popular and why.
Yeah, I would guess since you've started doing this, professionally, you probably look at it a lot different than you used to.
Yeah, definitely. But I still watch it as a fan. So that never goes away.
What's your mindset when you get in the ring next to somebody the size of Omos, which you've done before? What were you thinking?
What was I thinking? I was thinking survive. That was a wild experience, and I had a few seconds before the match started. They played like a 45-second promo, and I just looked around and I saw like 10,000 people, and I was like, "Whoa, that's a lot of people." But I was never. I was surprisingly less nervous than I was at WWE than I was in an indie ring because on like our local indie shows, I know the whole crowd. We see them at every show. We know them we know their face, we know their names, they know me. So if I do something poorly in front of that crowd, it's like, Leo messed up. We know him. We know he sucks. But it was a different feeling in front of a WWE crowd because I saw a lot of faces, but I didn't know any of those people. So it was kind of no pressure, but also there are millions of people watching, so a lot of pressure. But it went well, and it was received well by the company. So I think it was a home run.
That's awesome. I hope they bring you back. Like
Me too.
I was showing Jim this picture. That's got to be.
Oh yeah, that was.
How did that bump?
Goodness.
How did that bump feel?
Oh my god! I landed on my hip. I remember that. It sucked.
Did it hurt? You took one from Wardlow, right, against the fence, or
I did. Yeah, I was thrown into the steel cage and swallowed by the ring on Dynamite, and that was not pleasant either.
Didn't look like it.
What would be a better career goal? Getting a toy made or being in a video game? What do you think would be a cooler?
Wow, great question. I have a list of goals written down in a notebook that I made when I started wrestling, and both of those things are on the list. Action figure for me would be more important than the video game. Both of them important. Action figure more important.
I have a feeling the wrestling code game might be calling your name soon. That game's coming out.
We'll see. I don't know. That game's been in development for a while. I think that maybe they can delay it a little more to add the Son of the Sun.
Absolutely.
But they won't want to unless somebody tells them to. So slide in their DM, say, hey, you should really add Leo Sparrow.
I will. I already told him to look at AXW, so I'm going to slide in some more.
Perfect.
Did you make up yourself in the game like me and Kev?
Oh man, I haven't. I think I did when I was younger, but no, I'm sorry. I definitely did when I was younger, but recently, no, I haven't. I'm not a big video game person today.
Yeah.
So, no, I haven't.
Cool. Then, tell me about the Earth Champion. I love that belt. It's a beautiful.
The Earth
belt.
Championship. Thank you very much. I have it right here. The Earth Championship, gifted to me by Mother Nature herself. It just showed up on my doorstep one day. And I decided that I couldn't just be awarded the championship. I need to do what champions win. I need to do what champions do and win the championship. So I went down to Rio, like Pat Patterson, where he won the Intercontinental Championship. But I went to Rio Grande, New Jersey, because Rio de Janeiro is a little far. So I went to Rio Grande, New Jersey, and I found some utter sucker on the side of the road, and I gave him the decapitation while I was picking up a piece of trash, and I pinned him right on the sidewalk.
That's awesome. I respect that.
That's right. Earth Championship on a strap of vegan leather.
I love about your gimmick is that it's supposed to be a face, but the way the people are, the jabronis out there, they always take the vegan, the healthy guy as a heel.
Exactly. I'm just trying to save the earth here. I'm trying to unclog your arteries here. I have the cleanest arteries and the cleanest conscience, but for some reason I'm the bad guy. Doesn't make any sense to me.
I agree. I don't get it.
Leo, before you started training professionally, did you do like backyard wrestling or anything like that?
No, I never did any of that.
So you just decided I'm going to go to school and
yeah, I was doing some. I was in the business world for a little bit. I went to school for operations management. So I was in business school in Manhattan, and I lived there for a few years. So I would help set up like wrestling conventions and signings and things like that. And I had an internship lined up with WWE for the community outreach department or talent relations department or something like that. Either one of those. And that was canned because of COVID. So I said, well, I'll just sign up for a wrestling school instead. And then we'll see what happens from there. If I don't like it, I don't like it, but at least I tried it.
That's
and
awesome, man.
It ended up that I just needed to push myself to sign up. And that's really the boost I needed. And I just stuck with it. And I think if I do stick with it, then there's no chance of failure. You know, I'll end up like all the other Creative Pro graduates. MJF is the world champion right now. Max Caster, Anthony Bowens are the AEW tag team champions right now. Chris Statlander, you know, Bear Bronson, all these people, VSK have gotten signed. And I'm going to be just like them.
I saw you were in a couple of Max Caster's videos. Did you ever rap battle him or anything like that? Or
never rap battled him, no. But I definitely played a few characters in his videos. I'm an honorary member of the Acclaimed.
Nice.
So you're the King of Kale. Is that something you envisioned before, or is it something that came along as you were, starting to train and think about?
It came along with the character development. I have bigger pictures in my mind for all these things, like the actual Nature Boy. I think I need excuse me, an actual Nature Boy robe or a King of Kale crown.
What does your Nature Boy robe look like?
Yeah, I don't know. We got to have it designed. I gotta sit down and think about it. But there's a bigger picture to everything that I have going on. So I think the son of the sun. I'll be the first human to walk on the sun. That's a good one.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious when you like throw kale in people's faces.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's good.
Did you ever see that Andy Samberg sketch? Throw it on the ground. He's eating the lettuce and he throws it on the ground. It's pretty funny. I've never seen that. You might get offended at that one because he's wasting lettuce, but I would check that out. It's pretty funny.
Well, I throw spinach, so it's the same thing.
That's heel Andy Samberg.
How did you come up with your entrance song? I think it's pretty cool.
I went through a few different entrance songs. The one that I'm currently using is custom made for me, so it has my name in it, and I wanted something that I owned because I could put up a YouTube video or post a match or something like that, and it wouldn't be flagged for copyright or anything like that, and it would set me apart from all the other independent wrestlers that do use copyrighted music. So I wanted something that I could own. So I contacted the person who wrote or produced Brian Myers' theme, and because I love that song, and I said I want something. Here's my character, here's everything, here's kind of the vibe of the music I want, and I want you to use your creativity and come up with something great. And he knocked it out of the park. It's on my workout playlist, gets me hyped. I love this song.
Yeah, I liked it a lot when I heard it.
Thank you.
Do you have a dream opponent that you want to face that's still active?
I have a few. One of them is Dolph Ziggler because I'm a big Dolph Ziggler guy. That's probably one of my biggest dream matches. Ultimo Dragon, big Ultimo Dragon fan. And I think the layup here would be Cheeseburger.
Nice.
I have to wrestle a man that calls himself Cheeseburger. I mean,
Well, that would
I'm
be
the vegan
a good
here.
feud, man.
I did wrestle him this year, but it was in like a 6-person match, so I need him one-on-one.
Yeah, you have an arch nemesis right there.
Exactly.
Did you ever wrestle Mr. Ooh La La?
I have not.
Do you know Mr. Ooh La La?
I do not.
Okay.
He's a friend of the show. He does
Yeah.
wrestling H2O in New Jersey a lot.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah,
He's in good hands.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Good guy. Cool.
So I saw you're up for Rookie of the Year, which is awesome. You're in there with some pretty good company there. I saw Hook, Tiffany Stratton. Who else was in there?
Tony D'Angelo. Who's the favorite? Who else is in there?
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul was in there, yeah.
Kid Bandit. Shout out Kid Bandit.
Would you
Logan
feel
Paul's pretty good.
How would you feel if Logan Paul won that? Would you be a little upset?
Upset? No, I can't be upset at any of those results because I mean I get it. I didn't wrestle the WWE champion this year, so if he won, I wouldn't be too upset.
Mm-hmm. And you do a lot of tag team wrestling. Don't you currently have a tag team title now? Do you still have it?
Yeah. So GKM, the Phoenix and I, the Phoenix and the Sparrow, we make up the Birds of the Sun, and we were the 2-time tag team champions of ISPW and are the current tag team champions of World of Hurt in Albany.
That's an awesome tag team name that works with the two birds. So it's pretty cool.
Thank you.
And what do you prefer, singles wrestling or tag team? They both have
They're both fun. I love them both, and I love to watch both matches because it's a different style, and I like to keep things creative and keep it fresh. So, yeah, they're both fun.
Nice. And then were you Edge and Christian or the Edgeheads? Who do you think would win?
Oh, who do I think would win? Edge and Christian.
Yeah, legends. Cool. Then, so they acclaimed your current favorite tag team? If you had to pick one, just because of the relationship.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I'm big
Yeah,
fans of that.
them are the major players.
Nice.
So how did you hook up with AXW?
AXW, I wrestled for Outbreak Wrestling over the summer, and it was the hottest building I've ever stepped foot in. It was a lot of fun. I wrestled Andy Header for the Earth Championship, and I walked out still your Earth champion. So
Was that the show, the Legends show before?
yes,
You were there.
it was.
Oh, we were there. That was very, very hot. Yeah.
Yeah, I just was sweating all night. At the end of the match, I was laying on the canvas, and I said, I feel like I'm on fire. It was a black canvas, and there was just heat radiating from the ring. It was, I felt like a sauna. I can't even believe how hot it was.
Cool. Then,
But yeah, that's how I hooked up with Outbreak Wrestling, and then Outbreak Wrestling is kind of evolving into AXW. Have a lot of the same roster, a lot of the same staff. So they liked me, they saw me wrestle, and they wanted to bring me on board. Also, last weekend at the Contest of Champions, I was able to wrestle in front of Kevin Kelly, who liked me a little bit. So he said, "We already have you on board, but now you're officially on board."
cool. And you're wrestling Kakoa at the January 7th show?
I will be wrestling Kakoa on January 7th, yes. And I understand he's pretty popular at the Hamburg Fieldhouse. But
How are you going to deal with that?
I don't know yet. I have to do some research on Kakoa to see what he's about. See if he deserves a shot at the Earth Championship, you know?
How do you handle a hostile crowd if they get hostile towards you?
I just throw spinach at him.
Nice. That's what I got to start doing.
Did anyone ever get mad at you for throwing spinach at them?
All the time. It doesn't bother me because I'm just trying to make you healthier. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to throw some spinach down your gullet, and you're getting mad at me because I want to help you. It's backwards.
Yeah, that makes sense. If they drop it on the floor, you should be like, pick that up and eat it.
I've done that.
Have you?
Oh yeah, I can't waste a good spinach.
How does it? What's your mindset being like on the smaller side of wrestling? Does like, do you have like does that get in your head at all? Do you use that to your advantage? Like, does it make you angry? Like, how little smaller wrestlers don't always get the respect as the bigger guys. Got to work extra hard.
Yeah, definitely got to work extra hard, and I try and make myself stand out by doing a lot of character work. Because if you're just a bland wrestler and you're small, that's setting yourself up for failure. So I need to do. It's up to me. I need to do the work to make the drives multiple times a weekend, to meet different people, to make myself stand out, to be a good wrestler too, and a good character to make people remember me. Because if they remember me as the guy that threw spinach in their face, or if they remember me as the guy that's the Earth champion, they don't care about my height. They're not going to remember, oh my God, that guy was under 6 foot. Who cares about that? They want to be entertained.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like, look at Sami Zayn right now, right?
Oh my God, he's on top of the world right now.
Exactly. You remember Sami Zayn because he's entertaining, but he's not a small guy. He is Usi.
No? Well, what is he, like 6 something?
Yeah,
6'2"?
he's decent size. He just looks a tad smaller standing next to Roman Reigns, but he's a
Right,
decent
because
size.
he's surrounded by larger people. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say who's the biggest guy you wrestled, but that has to be Omos.
That would be Omos.
Probably
Not
the
only
biggest.
the biggest person I've wrestled, but the biggest person I've ever laid eyes on.
How big are his hands? Like bigger than your head? Is that?
In the match, you could see there's one point where he puts his hand over my entire face. So yeah, pretty big.
Is he really 7 foot or 7'2"? Is that what
He
he's
is,
listed?
I think, 7'3", and it is legitimate. Yeah.
Wow. That's big. Not just being that tall, but like his girth too. He's like,
Right.
yeah.
Big meaty man.
Cool. Then, are you going to go for any championships in AXW, or are you just going to keep the Earth Championship?
I'm going to try. The Earth Championship means a lot to me, so I'm going to hold on to that. But if there are other championships that present an opportunity for me to take hold of them, I definitely will.
So you're from New York. Did you do most of the New York independent scene at first, and worked your way up to Pennsylvania, or? I guess
Right. There's not a large amount of independence on Long Island. It's mainly like, I would say Creative Pro is the largest one.
Mhm.
So there's more opportunity in Jersey. And I also like to go outside of my comfort zone and outside of my Long Island bubble and meet new people. So
Yeah.
that's why I went to Jersey. That's why I go to Massachusetts. That's why I go to Connecticut and Pennsylvania and Maryland to meet new people, make new connections, and wrestle good matches.
Nice. Do you who do you think you had your best match or most memorable match against?
I had a match a few days ago with Jay the Key Evans, and it was at Shore Star Wrestling in Wildwood, New Jersey. It's like really South Jersey. And that, I would say, that's a very memorable match because we had the last 2 minutes of the match, they were chanting "Let's go Leo," and it was a wild experience. It was not the first ladder match I've ever been in, but the best and very memorable. And both Jay and I are going to remember that match, and the crowd are going to remember that match for a while. So I don't know if it's my best match. You know, we didn't do a lot of wrestling because it was a ladder match, but definitely had a lot of fun moments that I'll be posting about in the next few days. And I will remember that for a very long time.
Is there a kind of match you haven't done yet, like you'd love to do, like something on the list, like one you'd really be excited to do? They haven't done yet.
I have an idea in my brain for a fruit salad death match, and I have a lot of fruit and vegetable and produce ideas written down. So that's something I want to do. It's going to make an enormous mess, but you got to do what you got to do. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah, that'll have to be for the.
It would smell great though.
At first.
Yeah.
So do you have there's a lot of if you watch AEW, there's a lot of talk about the thing going on is a sports entertainer or a professional wrestler. Me personally, I feel like it's professional wrestling incorporates all of that. What's your opinion on that?
I agree with that. I think professional wrestling is built on entertainment and wrestling. It's an overlap of the two. And AEW and WWE, there's differences between a lot, but it's great because there's something for everybody. If you if you like pure wrestling and you only want to watch like grappling and mat wrestling and things like that, then you can watch the Ring of Honor pure title matches. Or there are different wrestlers. Every wrestler has their own style. So you can definitely find your favorites. That's why there are so many wrestlers, because everybody has a favorite. A lot of people are successful because they are people's favorite. There's something for everybody. So if you want to be entertained, or you want to watch wrestling, or you just want to watch the TV show about wrestling, just watch. You'll find something you like.
Yeah. Me personally, I'm a big I like the wrestling and stuff, but I'm more like I like guys that do good promos and stuff like that, the entertainment. So how do you go about, coming up with your promo, or thinking, like, do you just go off the cuff, or do you plan it ahead of time?
A little bit of both, because I like to stay creative and just see what comes to my head. And some things I'll just be thinking about and then say, oh, maybe I'll say that next time. But I talk to myself all day. And the people at work think I'm crazy, and my girlfriend thinks I'm crazy, and I think I'm crazy. But in the shower, in the car, because nobody can. Those are the two places nobody can judge you. And I'm thinking about it all the time, and it's something that I try and stay creative and see what I can say that's going to make people remember me.
Is there anyone you like watch and try to mold yourself, like watching their promos? And
I like to watch The Rock, because it seems so effortless, and definitely MJF too, for the same reason, because it seems so effortless. I don't know if there's thought put into it ahead of time, and that's exactly what I want. Is I don't want to know, oh, these guys are just remembering things. I don't want it to seem like they're trying to remember a script. So when I do promos and things like that, I try and do it just off the top of my head, because it's organic, it's natural. That's not a vegan joke, but it works. So I try and just be natural with it and see what I say.
I'm sure you draw a lot of comparisons to Daniel Bryan when he had the angry vegan gimmick.
Yeah.
Do people compare it to anybody else a lot in the ring or outside the ring? Or?
I like I said, I like Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
So I wrestle like Dolph Ziggler because I watch a lot of his matches. And people ask me like, oh, who do you see yourself wrestling like? Or who did you watch wrestling? And I say Dolph Ziggler. And if they've seen my matches, they say, oh, okay, I get it. Yep, I see it now. So I would say Dolph Ziggler.
I always want to see a Dolph Ziggler resurgence too. Like he got the bad end of booking because he's so good at what he does for so many years now. I was glad when he got the NXT title again too. Just like he deserves so much more. He's awesome in the ring. Cool. And then how about Nick Nemeth? Would you or excuse me, his brother Ryan? Did you ever wrestle
Ryan?
Hunk?
Absolutely, I would. Sure.
Cool.
So, Leo, for all the people that are going to come on January 7th, what can they expect from you?
They can expect a lot of spinach to be thrown and my hand to be raised, because I'm walking in with the Earth Championship and I am walking out with the Earth Championship.
Cool. Awesome. Kakoa better watch out, right?
Kakoa, you better watch out. Listen, I know you're popular, but you're probably some carnivore utter sucker, and you got clogged arteries and you can't keep up in the ring. That's what you get when you have 6 matches a year. So I'm out here every weekend trying to bust my ass, trying to be a good wrestler, and I'm gonna prove it on the 7th. I was chosen as a member of the AXW roster for a reason, and I'm gonna try and keep up with why I was chosen.
Cool. Appreciate you, Leo. Make sure you bring some almond milk. I'll slam Uncle Slam will slam some almond milk with you at that show.
Sounds good. We can chug some almond milk together.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Leo, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it, man. And we're looking forward to seeing you on the 7th.
Of course. Thank you very much. You can find me on social media at No Steak All Sizzle. Says it right there. But if you're listening on audio, at No Steak All Sizzle. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, ProWrestlingTees.com/Leo Sparrow. You too can look like the son of the sun. Yeah, find me there. And January 7th at AXW.
Cool. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you very much.
Hey, hey, everybody. We hope you enjoyed that. We sure did. And we're really looking forward to January 7th at the historic Hamburg Fieldhouse for AXW Presents for the People. Dollar Club will be there, along with Cabana Man Dan, Leo Sparrow, and a whole slew of other people. It's going to be awesome. So,
Yeah,
Kevin,
get your tickets down there at axwtix.com before they sell out. They're going fast. You don't want to regret not getting them now. You don't want to miss an amazing show. What were you about to say, Jimmy boy?
I was going to say, what did you think of Cabana Man Dan and Leo Sparrow? What are your thoughts?
Real quick,
Uncle
Sean
Slam's
Riley
thoughts.
said, on his high horse with his healthy cholesterol levels and not alarming blood pressure. Oh, it looks like Sean Liam Riley's sense of heel.
Too bad we didn't do that live. Leo could have responded there.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually really enjoyed Cabana Man Dan. I can't wait to get to know him better. Can't wait to see him at the show. I hope he beats Tony Evans so me and him can slam some almond milk. I got a lot of almond milk to be slamming at these shows.
You're talking some smack there. Tony Evans, I mean, you're going to be there. You're Uncle Slam. What are you going to do if he comes up in your face?
Hey, us good guys got to stick together, you know?
I don't know. I think Tony Evans might come for your flag trousers, whatever it is you're wearing.
Hey, I'm for the people, my friend. Uncle Slam is for the people. For the people support, Uncle Slam supports.
Yeah, of course, man. You're for the people, but I don't know. Some people may not like your tone.
I don't know. I'll have to check myself before I wreck myself, my friend.
I did challenge Leo to throw some spinach in your face. Hopefully
Sean Liam Ryan liked him. He just got triggered a little bit there. So Leo Sparrow, you're doing a great job. You're triggering the couple people out in the audience here. Any reaction is better than no reaction in the wrestling world, my friend. Good job, Leo.
Yeah, that's what his job is. He's triggering. I'm sure out in Hamburg, I'm sure there's a lot of hunting that goes on out there. So he may trigger quite a few people.
Absolutely.
So that should be fun to watch.
Yeah. I'd like to thank AXW for letting us be a part of these shows. I love their company. Thanks, Antonio. Thanks, Kevin Kelly. Thanks, Vox. Thanks, Jared. You guys are awesome. Jim likes being there. Love being a part of it. Uncle Slam is for the people. Never forget that. I'd like to thank our guest, Leo Sparrow and Cabana Man Dan. Awesome guys. It was really great getting to know them a little bit today. I hope you guys get to know them some more too. Follow them around. Go on their pro wrestling stores, pro wrestling tee stores. Buy some merch. Help the guys out. Don't forget, there's going to be some meet and greets at the Hamburg the January 7th show as well too. You can get a picture meet and greet with the courageous one, Christina Marie. There's some pricing on there. You can go on axwtix.com. The Luminous JC Storm meet and greet. Check her out as well. And then, formerly manager of Alberto Del Rio, Ricardo Rodriguez. You can get a photo op, sign picture, photo op combo with him as well. Don't want to miss this, guys. AXW for the people, January 7th. Be there or be square. Do it for your country. My chair is the backbone. America is the backbone.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be exciting. Real exciting. First AXW show. So it's going to be good.
Think of the guests today. You didn't say anything. You fans of the guests?
Yeah. Cabana Man Dan was awesome. I'm really looking forward to seeing him in the ring and combining all his different styles. And Leo's an interesting dude, man. He's a young, hungry, hard worker. I'm not a vegan. I don't really understand it, but hey, whatever floats your boat. So we'll see how he does.
Cool. And then we'd like to
Yes.
thank the comments too. Sean Lee and Riley, there you go, buddy. He's a Dollar Club member as well. He's a very integral member of this. He's our Dollar Club Hardcore Intercontinental Champion. Hopefully, he comes to an AXW show eventually too. He lives in New York, so it's a little tougher for him to make these shows.
Yeah, you should come down and Sean and let Leo give you some spinach.
Cool. All right. Well, everybody, thanks for watching the show today. Remember.
I'd buy that for $1.
And click the link above. Follow our socials. Help the Dollar Club out as well. And Jim, do you have anything you'd like to promote, or is that it?
That's it. Just what Kev said. Go to Dollar Club. Check out our stuff. Hopefully you like it. If you do, keep watching it. Subscribe, like, and share. All that.
Cool. Hopefully we get to see you guys again next Thursday at 8 p.m. It was a pleasure. From the most wholesome man in America, Uncle Slam, say la vie and have a great night.
Recognize.
Oh, we have 2 comments first before we go.
Yeah.
Let's see. There we go. Sean Lee Riley's definitely going to make it, guys. One of these days. One of these days. One of these days.
Good
All right,
one.
buddy.
Good one.
I'd buy that for $1.
Recognize. I represent everything Dollar Club.
Respect the dollar!
Oh, head to the Jolly Rogers there.